Did you know that Varesa is actually the best electro healer in the game? Alright, so what you're going to see here is the maximum amount of healing possible. This is with 4-piece maidens on Varesa and 3 bursts per rotation. Three bursts. You can see with Farina's Drain going on. This might confuse you, because if you read through Varesa's kit, she's got a whole big wall of text in here, so maybe there's some healing hiding here. But no, there's actually not any healing hiding in her kit directly, except she is a catalyst unit, which means she can use Prototype Amber. She has this weird burst with her secondary 30 cost, so she can do 2 bursts per rotation, right? You spend a little bit of field time on her, and every time you use her burst, she will proc Prototype Amber passive, right? Which will regenerate her energy, so that you use her burst again, and then you get the team-wide healing. And this is 18% of your other character's HP, but it is affected by healing bonus stats. 4-piece maidens will be another 20% healing bonus. That would mean this 18% of our character's HP turns into about 35% of our HP. But because she can use her burst twice in a rotation, right? This means this can be 70% of our team's HP, which is a heckin' lot. Alright, make sure I don't get hit. Use skills, and I can do a burst. Oh, I am stuck on the terrain. And bam, and bam. Oh, I forgot to get Farina going, so I didn't have the Farina healing bonus. But you can see, we healed a lot, right? And that was without the Farina healing bonus. You can also see that the Prototype Amber energy refunding makes it so I just have no energy needs. Like, I don't even need this 135 energy. I'm pretty sure you could do this with absolutely no energy. And that means you can actually build, like, crit stats on her. I actually don't think it really makes sense to do 4-piece maidens. I just thought 4-piece maidens would emphasize how much total healing she can get. And in my case, I have C2 Farina in particular, so there's absolutely zero reason for me to need the extra healing from 4-piece maidens. And there's an interesting path we can go down, actually, by using 4-piece Scroll of Cinder City on her instead of 4-piece maidens. But with the quality of my artifacts on 4-piece Scroll now, I have 72 crit rate, 173 crit damage, and again, I think we shouldn't need any energy, so this Varesa build should actually get some pretty decent damage while also still being the team-wide healer. Now, you could do various things. Obviously, the team-wide healing is only relevant with Farina. We don't have to do what I'm doing in this team, right? You can do whatever other units. Just keep in mind that Varesa being a team-wide healer is going to require her to be on-field a little bit. And in fact, I actually might try to put a different character instead of Muika here, but we'll test how the Muika one functions real quick, because I have Muika on, obviously, her best artifacts, 4-piece instructors with a full EM build on Mailed Flower. She can do some Burgeons or whatever, right? Because we're going to have Dendro, Pyro, and Hydro going, and the hope is that, Farina will be able to use the Burning reaction, right, which is going to keep up Emily's damage. Farina's going to buff Emily, of course, and Muika is going to give some more EM to increase, the team's damage. Notably, Farina can get some big vaporizes because of Pyro's on the enemy. Farina gets big number. This is a min-maxing Farina's damage team is what I decided to go with here. But you can mix and match kind of whatever, as long as, the other units you're playing other than Farina don't need to take that much field time. Raiden's burst only lasts 7 seconds, so I think you can have the field time of doing 2 bursts on Varesa and Raiden's burst in 1 rotation pretty easily. So we might mess around with this with a couple different teams, is my point. But anyways, let's see how this goes. What do we get on Varesa with unbuffed damage? 12k? 22k? We're still getting perfectly 5 Varesa damage, actually. Like, she's gonna do competent damage. This is great. This is gonna work really well. Oh, this is such a silly thing to do with this character. Alrighty. This, to get my energy. Alright, do this. That, this. Okay. And die because the Vishaps are annoying. Alright, let's attempt to not die this time. This. Run away from them for a second. Alright. Don't do that. Okay, it's probably fine because, we have Prototype Amber refunding energy. There we go. Bam. Yeah, it's completely fine. Alright. And Let's not forget to restart rotations. Very important. Slap. Yeah, it's safe to say this works. This works quite well. In fact, the fact that you can have the flexibility to use her big burst is actually really good, because then it means you don't necessarily have to wait for the healing. I didn't think about that factor at all. But yeah, you can see it doesn't actually take us that long to do 2 instances of her burst necessarily, and that's a very good thing, right? So we can do this, do this, do this, get the secondary burst, and then you could swap off field, and you could we could Moika if you wanted to Moika, right? And like we're staying full healed. Actually, I'm kind of surprised we're staying full healed. Am I getting more healing than I thought I was gonna get? I don't know. I don't have Ron Forbes Maidens right now. Anyways, her damage is also like not doing nothing. Like, I don't know. This is actually like a really cool thing you can do with this character. Let's not forget to do this. And I think I have kind of scuffed my rotation a little bit here in case it's obvious. But yeah, this works properly. Like, actually better than I thought it was even going to. I'm definitely gonna, I think, switch. Like, it's fun just staying on field with her, to be clear. But I'm definitely gonna go and try, you know, a team where I can have a short field time DPS unit instead of just these off-field damage dealers. But that was very good. Let's try Dehya instead. Oh, this is so silly. I love how well this works. My Dehya build, by the way, she is C3 with these artifacts and a pretty good build overall. We'll see if the energy is enough in this situation. Okay. Do this. Slap. This. This. Alright. I didn't actually have to do that. I should have waited. It's fine. Alright. Slam. Alright, do secondary burst. Do this. And we still have Farina buff up for Dehya. And, well, it kind of ran out. Okay, I think we can do this a little bit better. I think we do this. This. Probably should have had Farina going before that. That was my mistake. Alright. And do this. I think it is better to start with the big burst if you have the energy for it, because it means less rotation time needed. And then we can switch to Dehya, although I don't have my burst back, of course. I told you I didn't have energy. God dang it. And if I did have energy, I probably could get Dehya's full burst in the duration of Farina, right? Yeah. Like, my problem was just energy there. Also, my Farina build has enough energy, which is good. Well, at least in AoE here. We're getting more energy particles in AoE, potentially, from enemies dying. It's not really do things. But yeah, I don't know. This team dynamic works too. I think... No, I think I will try to use Raiden in some variant, of course. Not this exact team, because removing the Pyro is not ideal. But I think Raiden is an interesting option for sure. Okay. I'm gonna wait and do a new rotation here. Okay. Well, I wanna start fresh. Okay, start fresh. Yum. Okay. This. Okay, and then we switch. They're dead. It's fine. The dynamic works. It works. It very much works. It's a little bit tricksy. So let's try it. Let's try Raiden. I like this team dynamic, to be clear. It's more fun to play Dehya when I think you can get bigger numbers from her than this. Now, my Raiden build is a weird one with EM, Timepiece, and Goblet. Call this Hybrid Raiden. So my Raiden can get good burst damage while also getting good reaction damage like Hyper Balloons or Electro Charge. Let's just do an Electro Charge team where Varesa's the on-field healer. Some people like to do Taser Electro Charge teams with Kokomi on-field, but who needs Kokomi when you can have, you know, a Varesa who does a little bit of damage and does some buffing and your team-wide healing? like I think that's actually a funny comparison, right? Like, Kokomi requires field time too for her team-wide healing. I think Varesa might just be a better team-wide healer than Kokomi. Slap. Oh, we should probably not have Farina on Key of Kaja's suit in this team, but whatever. It's fine. Alright. Slam. What? Really? Oh, well, okay. Didn't actually hit any enemies there very well, but it's fine. Do this, and then we switch to Raiden. I probably should have... Yeah, I didn't have VV going there. That was bad. Probably need to switch to Kazuha before Raiden bursting, right? But... other than that, that wasn't bad. That's if I do this. Okay. That. This. Alright, do that. Alright, switch to Kazuha again. And then we Raiden burst. I still don't think I had VV. Also, or Farina buff right now. Okay, the timing on this I think is a bit tricksy, particularly if you want to fit in a Kazuha burst. We could maybe just forgo Kazuha burst, right? That might be the option. I meant the Raiden burst. Okay, there we go. 130k. Yeah, that was more kind of what I was expecting. And again, I could probably get higher damage with a normal Raiden build in this team. Having Raiden makes much more sense with Dendro. But this team dynamic works too. All of these are just basically proof of concept, so being able to do different kinds of shenanigans with Varesa as your team-wide healer, which I think is just really funny. I don't know. I'm kind of not sure which team I want to use right now. Any other short-ish fuel time unit that isn't Mawika? You know what? Navia might be a kind of interesting option, because we'll have crystallizes going on, of course, and then you just swap into Navia to get some big damage, like do a quick swapping Navia, right? Alright. Okay. We should not forget to do this. That would be bad. Alright, and blam. Wonder if I... Wait, you can... Oh, I just realized. You don't have to... I think I can do that differently. Right? I think... Oh, this is... Okay, I gotta redo this. This team, I think, has a really, really interesting dynamic in that Varesa doesn't have to stay on field consistently. Like, I don't have to do the, burst and then do the 2 skills. What I can do is I can burst on Varesa, get the initial healing going, swap to Navia, do a Navia skill, swap back to Varesa, do Varesa plunges until I get the next burst. Once I get the next burst, swap back to Navia, right? This. That. Alright, and bam. I can't with Navia sometimes. I'm sorry. The amount of times I have done a skill on this character and with 85% crit rate, she doesn't crit. How did we not get a single crit on both of her? What? How? Bam. Actually how? Anyways, bam. Hey, wow, we crit. But the team dynamic works. The team dynamic works. Hey, that's good. I know Shilonen is a healer too, right? And that's kind of redundant. But do you really want to build your Shilonen for healing? I think most people don't even build their Shilonen for healing. And I forgot to switch to her, right? But anyways, blam. And I didn't. Okay, you know what? I wonder. But yeah, you can obviously use Shilonen burst in this team, but Varesa's burst is actually going to be able to do some damage. So, I think we want to spend a little bit more field time on Navia after the initial skill usage. Alright, so we do that, right? And I think we can even do this. And do this. And we do a couple normal attacks with Navia. But then we switch back. Do this. Alright. And bam. Yeah, I think that's the dynamic. I think I didn't fit that in the window properly, but I think you get the idea. Maybe we just do like this. I don't know, it's weird. I think our stack generation is kind of inconsistent, but I'm also just bad at playing Navia, for what it's worth. So, I don't know. It's kind of... This is a really, really interesting team dynamic. This is less relevant of a thing to do with Navia, just by nature of Shilonen being a healer, right? It's a really cool synergy. You could very much argue just putting Varesa on a normal build, right? Because of Shilonen actually healing herself, even though, team-wide healing from Varesa is better for damage bonus, I don't know. It's weird. If you play Navia, I would say, I don't know, and you have Varesa, and you want to try this out, and try to compare, Varesa on a normal damage focus build and using Shalonen as your healing to get damage bonus for Farina. I think if you have C2 Farina like I do, just using Shalonen as your healer and then actually building Varesa for more damage. But if you don't have C2 Farina, like the fact that she's getting team-wide healing is going to give you better, more consistent damage bonus potentially than Shalonen's only on-field healing, and then you don't have to burst on Shalonen and whatever, right? There is benefits to doing this with, you know, Varesa as the healer instead of Shalonen, and I think that's interesting. But I'd rather try to play a team that is using Varesa as the only option for a healer, right? I'm going to try this team in Abyss. I know my Dehya build had like energy problems. I could try to put her on an emblem build or whatever, but I'm just going to try to use it as is, even with the energy problems I have. I'm going to put Farina on Fav though. That might fix the energy problems itself. And I like playing Dehya, and we'll see if I can get this dynamic to work. Alright, let's see if we can get this to work properly. Hopefully Fav will fix our energy problems on Dehya. Let's do this. Alright, this. Oh, it's already dead. Interesting. Alright, do this. Bam. Dehya. Okay. We ran out of Farina burst. Alright, well that's fine, I suppose. Lamb. Okay, interesting. We don't have enough energy here to do our big burst of a rotation. It's not the end of the world, really. And we could do another burst in I don't know. The damage is very clearly fine because, you know, it's a team configured around getting... Can you be less of a butthole chicken? It's a team configured around Farina getting pretty big vaporizes, right? We would have cleared much faster there if the chicken hadn't done its annoying move. We're just going to kill it like that. And, I don't know. Yeah, the team dynamic obviously works quite well. Rito will probably be chump change. Alright, do this. Oh, we will forgo. First, for now, at least. Alright. I guess we can just keep on going on field. Alright, there we go. And then we'll do you. I think we maybe should have waited to do that. I guess just should have restarted rotation. Suppose it's not as well, though. Alright, do this. This is just awkward. I don't know. You can't even do like ideal rotations against this current Abyss because of the enemy mechanics. So, I don't know. Alright, bam. Ow. Alright. Hey, we did get Dehya burst back, although it's not going to be up for next chamber now. But we can get sub 8 minutes with Dehya. Ah! Dang it! Really? No, I'm going to redo. Alright, just because of the invisibility baloney. We're going to save Dehya burst until until we're done with the invisibility. Can you stop, Varesa? Can you please target the middle things? Oh my god. Oh, this game's auto-targeting. It's fine. Alright. Full rotation. This time we'll just for E on you. Okay. Alright, bam. One burst. Two bursts, and swap out. Alright. Alright, that lined up pretty well. Pretty well. Not perfectly. I don't think it was perfect, for sure. But that was a pretty satisfying clear. Like, functionally, 2-ish rotations with the weird invisibility mechanic. Alright, and everyone's favorite boss. I don't have energy up on Farina. So do this. Also, I just realized this. Oh no, Varesa should be fine at this. Alright, I'll do this. Bam. Just gonna stay on field a little bit to charge up this boss a little bit faster for the pillar phase. And we died. Yay! What? Why cooldowns? What? Why? Oh my god. Oh my god, cooldowns. Okay, well I bungled something here. Great, that's wonderful. Just charge up your stupid meter and we can deal with it. It's so lame how this boss is mostly just like, I mean, like, obviously you need to have a bunch of damage, but so much of this boss is just how much can you charge up the meter. This is honestly one of the least satisfying of the cycles they've ever done.
This is infuriating.
Like, that was not a very interesting glare. I couldn't use Dehya there meaningfully, because if I used Dehya, I would just end up charging the meter much slower, and then it just screws the attempt. Anyways, point is, that's just problems with that boss's design and how unfun this abyss is. It was a perfectly good demonstration for how Varesa can be a competent team-wide healer, right? The thing to watch for this whole video was, you know, the HP amounts on my characters as I was doing Varesa Burst, and there was definitely mistakes in play. I didn't think about the fact that you can actually use 3 bursts per rotation, right? Because you can, if you have enough energy to do a 70 cost and then a 30 cost and a 30 cost, which is a lot of energy, but she also generates a good amount of particles and you can build extra energy on her, right? So something interesting to potentially have tried instead may have been like the Maiden's build again, but just like a full energy focus build. The point being, there's actually weird, interesting potential with doing Prototype Amber on Varesa, and I don't think I really did much more than just kind of touching the surface of this, and it's a really cool nuance to Genshin's mechanics in general, and a cool nuance to Varesa's kit. I do kind of wish her burst just kind of let you use this 30 cost burst as long as you had the energy for it. Like if you had 60 energy, I could just press Q immediately without having to do the plunges in order to trigger the availability of it. That really restricts your team options for doing this kind of thing quite a lot, right? I could do much more longer field time units. Like it would be easier to make Raiden work properly. It would be easier to make Dehya work properly. So, I don't know. Varesa is a very fun unit, by the way, in general. I haven't made a video about her, like, normal playstyle. I like her. I think she's fun. She's a pretty strong on-field Electro DPS. I really like her for overworld utility. And now she could be a team-wide healer in the game, too. But, I don't know. I like her as a team-wide Electro healer more than I think I like Dori as a team-wide Electro healer. Even though Dori at C6 is not a bad team-wide Electro healer by any means, I think you can get more damage potential out of a Prototype Amber Varesa build with her being the healer rather than Dori, which is funny. Anyways, it's really cool. It's fun. This is an interesting character with her kit gimmick. It's a little bit limited in how you can actually utilize it, of course, but it's a thing to be aware of, especially if you're on an account that doesn't have a lot of options for team-wide healers. With a C0 for Rena is my overall vibe. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is going to make anyone pull for Varesa, but maybe it will. Maybe you're just like, I really wanted a team-wide Electro healer.